It's also very sad to see that this really won't put too much of a dent in the median that Black borrowers typically hold. I think we're somewhere around 40,000, 39, 40,000 in terms of how much student debt we hold as opposed to the average white borrower. And so where this will almost eliminate much student loan debt for white people, it's not even really putting too much of a dent in it for those of us who are disproportionately impacted by it. So a flurry of emotions for me, that with how much I owe, because I owe a good grip. I managed to do undergrad mostly free, but grad school is what killed me. Tulane killed me. So currently I owe 135,000. About 11,000 of that is interest that accumulated when I was homeless. By the first of the year, by the first of 2023, I can get it down to 103, and then we'll see what we can do about beating that interest. But my goal is to have everything paid off by April of 2026. I'll be 33 years old. And that's hard for me to really sit with, just because I feel as though I'll be putting my life on hold. I want to buy a house, of course, for me and my mother. I want to buy a new car because I'm still buying. My car will be 10 years old next year. So I live well below my means to try and get this debt down, because I've seen the horror stories. It's not uncommon to see people like not being able to afford food because of their student debt payments. I've met people who got divorced because of their student debt payments, who just couldn't. Pell Grant was not always eligible to everyone, nor are student loans, primarily people who are impacted by incarceration. And that was part of his crime bill back in 1994. So you're excluding these people from being able to get loans. You're excluding people from being able to get grants, oftentimes from one mistake. So how are they supposed to, what are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to be able to improve their lives? Then you have the ones who might be able to get grants like I did, or get grants and loans, and yet working these terrible jobs, working these dead-end jobs, because you still have your criminal record to attend to, and it's really speaking before you even walk into the room once they do a background check. It's just a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. And so you can't even hope. I think had I not gotten my record expunged, I couldn't have even hoped to, one, be an epidemiologist, much less pay off the my undergrad loans. There's just absolutely no way. I don't know. I feel as though with President Biden basically saying that, okay, I'm extending the payment pause one last time to basically December the 31st. Good luck, is really disappointing. The mobilization that we saw to get him into office, and not just that, but to get him a majority Senate and House. I mean, I don't think we had ever seen a voter turnout in that way, or a push in voter turnout since the civil rights era. And that was Black people, that was Black college students, that was the HBCUs, that was the base. Women who hold a disproportionate amount of debt, not to mention Black people, especially Black women, pay what is sociologically known as the Black tax. When one of us comes up, because we are a very educated population, when one of us comes up, we end up having to care for our families. It's the same case with me. I care for my mother. That payment pause, I really just cannot even stress enough. I was able to start like my full on adult life and achieve some kind of stability for the first time in my life. I started my nonprofit organization, literally out of my own pocket, out of my own savings account, and started giving scholarships to women who had been impacted by incarceration. And now I run the only organization in the country that addresses menstrual equity for incarcerated women. We have given, I think by the start of 2023, we'll have given $60,000 in scholarships to currently incarcerated women, formerly incarcerated women, and the daughters of anyone who's ever been incarcerated, because these policies leave them behind.